Miami-based maker BLU wasted no time in 2015 getting its name out in the space by introducing several affordable smartphones, usually under the $350 price point. They had some value because they were locked, mostly dual SIM, and they're taking that same momentum from 2015 into 2016. Hey guys, John V from PhoneArena here. You're watching our video review of the BLU Vivo XL. You wouldn't believe it's $149 because it has an attractive design that we really like. It has a sleek construction, a lightweight feel in the hand, and has this mirrored finish in the back, which has this pattern to it. It's something that BLU refers to as liquid metal, but does tend to have like a glossy plastic feel to it. It still looks nice, feels good in the hand, and we gotta say it really looks attractive for $150. You also have good battery life out of its 3150 milliamp hour battery, and usually by the end of the night, it's roughly at the 50% mark. In our battery benchmark test, it puts up a good on-screen time of 7 hours and 40 minutes. One unique thing about the phone is that it employs a very modern USB Type-C port, which is pretty nice, but it still takes a little bit longer to charge at 203 minutes. As far as the experience, it has BLU's interpretation of Android on top of 5.1 Lollipop. They do pledge to have it upgrade to Android M, but who knows if that's going to really happen or not. We do like the experience overall. It's not as overpowering as some custom Android skins, and does come with some useful tricks like having a super screenshot and the various smart gestures it employs. There's also a ton of different shooting modes with the camera interface, even a manual one that you can adjust on the parameters. It features a 13 megapixel camera in the back and a 5 megapixel front-facing one. Even with that combination, it still results in a below-average camera performance. It just simply lacks detail and sharpness with its images, and it definitely has a more noticeable, cooler color reproduction. Under low lighting conditions, you have poor results as well because you have speckled looking details and the focus is pretty buggy. Video recording tops out at 1080p, it's extremely soft in tone, it lacks continuous autofocus, and just doesn't have enough appealing elements to really make it a standout thing. The screen here is a 5.5-inch 720p Super AMOLED display. We have no complaints about the details and the saturated colors it produces, but it has a very weak brightness output of 289 nits, so it's pretty unusable with the sun present, and has all the typical qualities of AMOLED technology. Most notable is the inaccurate, oversaturated color tones it has. So greens, yellows tend to have a little bit of green to them, and teal tends to be a lot more blue. You also have an extremely choppy gaming performance, unfortunately. It's powered by an octa-core 1.3 GHz MediaTek 6753 chip with 2 GB of RAM. Now, moving around the home screen is not a problem, and even with basic stuff, but the Mali T720 GPU just strains with the graphics processing. Overall, for $149, we have very few complaints about the BLU Vivo XL. It works for making phone calls, having all the core features of the Android experience intact here. And you also have some other things that you don't get in other phones. For example, dual SIM slots, a removable battery, expandable storage via its micro SD card slot. And you also have a pretty attractive design for a device that costs less than $150. It's a great backup phone if you have a really nice high-end device, but you might get tired of using it if you make it your daily driver.